There's a lot of things that you're spending time on that you shouldn't be spending time on. A lot of things that you have in your process that don't make sense in this age of AI.
Reducing waste, becoming more efficient is the complement to raising prices. And it's staggering when you get it done. And the cost of this is like nothing.
What are things that AI can do to support and decrease inefficiencies in the business?
One of them is time waiting. So maybe we just call it lost time.
There is waste everywhere, unnecessary movement of people, reaching for things, walking, searching for things.
If you are the bottleneck, you've got to make that decision and make that call.
I think this is where looking at your processes to find these inefficiencies and doing it with AI can really be beneficial.
Expert advice, practical tips, real-life stories. Have less stress, more time, and more money in your business. Welcome to the Cash Flow Contractor.
Martin, crazy times out there, man.
What's crazy?
There's all these AI agents taking over the world.
I know, and my next doctor's going to be a bot, or what's
A bot, an agent. Claude, well, started as Claude bot, switched into OpenClaw because of a cease and desist.
Elon Musk's humanoid?
No, I'm not actually. So basically, a guy that created an open source agent, AI agent.
Oh, okay.
And anyways, he named it ClaudeBot. There's Anthropic is a huge,
Right.
AI company. They have Claude, CLAUDE. And then he created a agent that he's calling a bot, and he called it ClaudeBot, but like the claw of a lobster. So
Right.
CLAWD bot. So then he got a cease and desist from Anthropic. And so he had to change the name, and he changed it to like something like Molt bot. And that actually was another copyright infringement. So then he changed it to OpenClaw. So now it's
So he's got AI, and he couldn't research that in advance. But by the way, you're talking about bots, and I was thinking robots, because
Elon
Musk has
did.
been all over everything about how your next surgeon is going to be within 5 years.
Yeah,
The
100%.
surgeons are going to be robots.
He completely stopped the Tesla Model S and Model X manufacturing in California, and they are only producing robots now.
Yeah.
He's like switched the entire, and do you understand that's a gigafactory? Like that's not like, oh, it's the plant down the road. It's like literally one of the largest manufacturing facilities in the US. And he's shutting down production of 2 major vehicles. I mean, it's crazy.
That is one thing. I don't know if we'll talk about it today, but that's what you call decisive.
Yeah.
Make the decision and do it. Now, he also has some brain power, horsepower, information behind it, but he bets on what's next. And so far, he's kind of the guy to bet with.
Yeah. Well, here's another funny thing. And we are not talking about anything for the podcast but we'll get into it. He bought Twitter.
Sure.
He used the Twitter brand X to create XAI, which is a massive,
Right.
It's Grok. It's its own AI tool. It's very capable. SpaceX, his other company, just purchased XAI. So that's like a huge, now they're the largest, he's the largest private corporation in the world or something like that. And people have been waiting for the SpaceX IPO. And so it's going to be one of the biggest IPOs ever is what they're saying. So if you were a Twitter employee that got purchased by X, and you kept your shares, you now have private shares in SpaceX.
Wow.
Which is just nuts.
Yeah, and that would be the 80% of them that he fired, too.
Probably. Oh, yeah, exactly.
And they probably dumped it because they were mocking him for, the value dropped when he initially bought it. He's just not a good guy to bet against.
He's not.
It's funny how so many people are calling him the most stupid billionaire there is.
Yeah. Well,
no clue.
Last thing I'll say, I am in this agent world. I'm exploring it. It's freaky. It's weird. I've got a computer at home that doesn't have a screen. Well, it had a screen when I was setting it up, but got rid of the screen. So it's just sitting there running, and it's agent. His name is Marcus, and he just does things, and he runs on different AI models, and I can talk to him the variety of ways. He can build his own agents. He can, it's wild.
And
so times
the agents are
changing.
doing things for you,
Yes.
collecting information kind of stuff.
I'll show you some stuff,
Okay.
but we're like building some internal software and like just wild stuff. So
Yeah,
it's,
you've got me way farther down the road than I ever would have been. But we're doing skills now in Claude.
there you go. Is that working
And
well
then,
for you?
yeah, it is for what I'm doing with it. And it's almost as good to use instructions in our projects.
Yeah.
They're
it's-
not the same, granted,
not the
but
same, yeah.
for what I do, if I take something and open a project and I put it in there, and it has instructions like find the subjective things that we talked about. If I'm doing it on a
Sure.
coaching session, you just put it in there and it does it,
Yeah.
and you
No,
can
for
have
sure.
follow-on.
So what an agent would do, just to clarify for listeners, like what's the difference between an agent and whatever? Like it has agency. So instead of you feeding the transcript into the AI and saying, give me some good notes and,
Right.
whatever, the AI has access to your calendar, sees that you had a meeting, knows where the notes live, goes and grabs the notes and says, oh, Martin was talking to so-and-so about this. I'm going to go ahead and email them, the notes and then some things that they can do in their action items. And Martin was talking about how it'd be really cool if they could calculate this. So I built an app for Martin that he can give to his clients. And they can input a number and get exactly what they're looking for. And
Well,
Yeah.
Just at a very low level, using AI a lot, especially in my book. I mean, you know that, and I'm having it be my editor. And sometimes it makes them suggest, I say, well, can you email that to me? And it can't.
yeah,
But agent can. That's a very,
agent can do a lot more than just read it for you.
no, yeah, I know
yeah.
a lot more, but that's
I mean, you have to set up access and things like that. But an agent has agency. It's like you have an employee, just like you
Right.
have to give your employee an email and you have to give them a login and those kinds of things. But once you've done that, it's running. So we'll talk about it. I'm sure it's the talk of the town. Yeah. Well, what you don't understand, or what people don't understand, is that the agent can create sub-agents, and that's like a huge.
now we're out of control.
Well, for example, you can go find these on like Twitter, and I'm sure people have heard about it, and there's all these conspiracies, but don't focus on like the weird stuff. Go and see how people are like making money with this, because the agent, you can tell the agent, hey, I want to go and I want to start going on Polymarket. You're familiar with Polymarket, where you
No.
can basically bet on anything. It's like
Yeah. Yes.
you can bet on who's going to win the election, and
Yeah.
are we going to bomb Iran before this time, and all these kinds of things.
As long as there's somebody to take the other side.
And so the agent will go and find, like, hey, I want to go make money on Polymarket. Go and research Polymarket, know the most about it, find the good trades for me, and then just execute the trades. Here's a wallet, like basically a credit card with a limit, but anyways, you get it. So it has a wallet, it goes in, it starts making bets, and it'll find, it's not going to bet on things that it's predicting will happen. It's going and finding errors in how Polymarket adjusts their odds and how it's not in real time compared to such and such event, and it learns about the event, bets on it, be like it's a 100% bet. You know what I mean?
But yeah, Back to the Future.
Well,
3.
it's just kind of. It's more so that Polymarket takes 2 minutes to update.
Yeah, no.
So I have 2 minutes to get the bet in before it actually knows the right information. So I'm going to make.
No,
It
that was the effect of computers back in
Yeah.
70, that you had that advanced asymmetrical information.
Yeah. So like it'll do that, and then what's the other thing? So that's cool. Like I get how AI can do that, but this is what's more important. There's one, Claude, I think is the bot's name. has a Twitter account, posts on Twitter. You would think it would, I mean, you can kind of tell after a little while that it's a bot in terms of how it talks, but just a regular Twitter account that you can follow and all that kind of stuff. Its owner is also on Twitter, and you can, follow him, and he talks a little bit about what he's doing. But then his agent, I'm going to say agent rather than bot, because I think there's different connotations
Negative
there,
association, yeah.
Well, but I mean, there's spam bots. It's not a spam bot. It's an agent. This agent it has brain power, and then it creates muscles. Oh, you want to build an app? Well, to build an app, we would need a designer, an architect, a bug examiner. Like, we would need a marketer who's going to think about the messaging, and so I'm going to create sub-agents that do all those things. I'm basically going to create my own org chart of like employees that are going to build my team. So I'm building my team, and then I release them. I spawn them and I unleash them, right? I deploy them. So then they go and they do all that stuff. So right now, Claude.
And so you created them also?
No, you create the agent. The agent decides, hey, in order to do this tax effectively, we need to do all these things. Rather than use all my brain power, I'm going to create a sub-agent that's going to go and do these things.
The agent is going to create the sub-agent.
Yeah, you didn't tell it to create. You can tell it if you want to, but it decides.
It might do it anyway.
Yeah. So anyways, it does that. And then what happens from there, Claude, and we'll end with this example and get into our topic, which I think this applies to, by the way. But Claude registered for an LLC in Delaware, got approval, created bank accounts on her own, went, and every hour she's developing a new app, and she comes up with crazy ideas. And then she releases them, and she is making real money. One of the apps that she developed is called Hire a Human, and it's for other agents because they were having trouble bypassing like Uber to hire a driver, and Uber Eats and Grubhub and all those kinds of things. So it created a website called Hire a Human. It ran ads on other platforms to get humans to sign up and create an account, so that now agents, when they need someone to click a CAPTCHA to get past security, they can hire a human. And when they need to send something via the mail, or they need to pick something up, they can hire a human. So that's just an example for you of what's going on. And it's like it's like existence. So I'm trying to learn about this. I bought something for $29, like a complete guide on how to implement such and such for your agent. Guess who sold it? An agent.
An agent, yeah.
Yeah.
Any way to get back to who the owner of the agent is?
Yeah. A lot of the ones that I'm looking at, the owners are, yes, I'm so-and-so's agent.
Yeah.
You can see it, but.
We probably just scared the hell out of a few people.
We did. Times are, honestly, this entire week I've had probably 6 or 7 hours of conversations of like, what does work mean going forward? And I'm going to link to an article from Brent Beshore. Do you know who that is?
Nope.
I'll link to that in the show notes.
Okay.
He's permanent equity, and he has a private equity company. Really great guy, and does an annual letter that rivals Warren Buffett's letters. And he doesn't release articles that often, but he wrote one recently called I forget the exact title, but it's about how AI is going to make us better humans. So anyways.
Yeah, send me that link. I need to read that.
Okay, I will. Yeah. I will. Quick ad break, contractors. I want to tell you about Quo, formerly OpenPhone. I see something all the time. A customer calls in, they talk to one person on your team, and then they call back later and get someone else, and they have no idea what's going on. What do you do when you have a frustrated customer and your team is scrambling to piece it all together? It's just another fire for you to put out. Quo fixes all of that. It's an AI-powered phone system. Your whole team shares one number, or they can have their own individual numbers, but they can see the full call history. They can listen to call recordings, they can see automatic transcriptions, and even AI summaries of exactly what was said. You can tie it into your CRM too, so now the customer info isn't scattered all over the place, it's in one single source of truth. If any of this sounds appealing to you, check out the special offer in the show notes just for our listeners. Thank you for listening. Back to the episode. Okay, so we're talking about profit margin today and inefficient things that are eating your profit margin. And I think that we just had a long 12-minute conversation about AI. And why does that matter towards profit margin? Well, there's a lot of things that you're spending time on that you shouldn't be spending time on.
Yeah.
and a lot of things that you have in your process that don't make sense in this age of AI. I'm not talking about agents. I'm talking about little things that you can be doing in real life right away. So we're going to dive into it, but when you see people that have inefficiencies in their business, what are the most common ones that you see?
Oh, I think they kind of parallel lean manufacturing. At least a lot of them do. But one of them is time waiting. So maybe we just call it lost time.
Yeah.
It's a one-day job, but you have to drive back to the shop. I mean, there are a lot of, if you want to take that as a category, I think one of the first things you need to do is categorize what you're waiting on.
Yeah.
Right? So what areas are waiting on? I think both of us can come up with, but you're waiting for materials, you're waiting for people, you're waiting for instructions, you might be waiting for permits, might be waiting for inspections, you might be waiting for client to make decisions.
Yeah.
Might be waiting for weather. But anyway, when you start, if you begin to categorize those things, you can start examining them. And I think it's a good idea to find a way to track them.
There's an acronym. I think there's actually a couple for the types of waste. So what you're talking about, Martin, lean manufacturing. There is waste everywhere is one of the principles, and the second is that things can always be improved, right? So the acronym, I believe, is TIMWOODS, if I'm not mistaken, and those are the areas where you see waste. So one is transportation.
Yeah, I'm looking at them. I didn't know that spelled TIMWOODS. Huh.
Yeah. Yeah, transportation is one. So that doesn't necessarily mean like driving to the job site. That can be like how you parked the truck a little too far from the shop, and now you've got to walk from inside the shop to the truck 20 yards rather than backing the truck up all the way close. There was a transportation waste there, right? Inventory, having excess materials, that's an easy one. People know what that waste really looks like.
Right.
Then you have motion, unnecessary movement of people, reaching for things, walking, searching for things. Oh, I can't find this, right? we all know where that is. Oh, it's not on the truck, right? Waiting, which is the one you just said, right? The idle time between steps. Right. And then overproduction, which essentially means we produced more than we actually need, or before it's needed. And then overprocessing, so doing more work than the customer actually values. Raising my hand here, right? Yeah. Overprocessing for what I do. And then defects, so rework, all those kinds of things, having to do callbacks, fixing errors, all that stuff. And then the last one, skills, which is basically your underutilized talent. Right. So you're not leveraging people's abilities. You're wasting what they do.
Yeah, that's Toyota's lean, 8 great wastes, but it applies almost to everything. I think the one that, there's another one, I don't know exactly where it, well, I guess it's non-utilized talent, really, that if you are the bottleneck, meaning you're the boss and you've got to make that decision and make that call, and they're waiting for you to get off the phone so they can reach you, or you're at lunch. Anyway, you've got to find a way to use people to make the decisions and liberate your company.
Yeah, but how do I get these people to do that? I've tried it, Martin. They don't listen. They don't care as much.
Now, which one are you talking about? The employees?
The employees.
Yeah,
not the agents.
You're not saying the owners won't do it. Yeah.
No, not
a lot of times the owners won't do it. Don't want to do it. Yeah. No,
I'm talking about my people, or the people that you speak of.
If that's true and that's who somebody really is, then that's who they are. You need some other people. But I've found that people will respond when given responsibilities, especially if it's clear. What clarity is really important, and they can begin to move up. There's an old study, and I'm sure most people have heard it, where a guy paid a great wage to people to come and dig a trench, and then the next day he had them come back and fill the trench up. And then he doubled the wage and offered them to dig the trench out. Anyway, it goes on a few times where he keeps raising the pay to do this meaningless work. And he couldn't get anybody to take the job because people do have to see the value in what they're doing. And so if you can make the value known, give the responsibility with clarity so that they understand and have the opportunity to grow, I think people respond to that. Not everybody does. If your people don't, maybe that's not the guy to delegate to, but some people don't have the capacity. We're finding that out, working with a client right now, we've got people problems. And really, it's just the people don't have the mental horsepower to do what we're wanting them to do. So there you got to decide, can I use them at the lower level, or do I need to replace them?
I think this is where looking at your processes to find these inefficiencies and doing it with AI can really be beneficial. Because if the people don't have the horsepower, the AI does. And I know people on job sites, I know that you need physical people. I'm not saying replace your people. I'm saying equip them with AI to do some stuff. Just like you used to keep your books on pen and paper in a ledger. And yeah, it was effective, but there was also errors that could mess up the entire ledger that you wouldn't even spot, And then you start using QuickBooks or you start using spreadsheets, and now those errors stop and those inefficiencies are gone. Same concept, that there's AI out there that can solve a lot of this. It can show you where you're messing up, where those inefficiencies are, all those kinds of things.
Quick ad break. It's for me personally. I've got to promote my business, and you are my target audience. If you're a contractor, you're running a business that's north of $500,000 in revenue, you already know the grind. You're the salesperson, the project manager, the HR department, and the guy that's fixing problems on the weekends and at 9 p.m. because you own the business and you're responsible. But I've got something for you. I built Growth Kits just to solve your problem of the chaos that comes with growth. It's a membership that gives you a growth team that's in your corner. It helps with staff, systems, and software. So you don't have to go and hire a bunch of people that you can't afford yet to fix problems that you've never fixed before. If you need to get work off your plate, we help you get up to 3 global talent hires per year as a part of our membership so that you can find low cost, low overhead positions to really take the admin work off of your plate. We mentor them for you weekly so that you're not stuck training someone from scratch. And if you need to give further training to them and other people on your team, we provide workshops to anyone that's at your company. Let me read off some of these first. Workshop titles: Own Outcomes, Not Tasks. 6 weeks going over that with your team in a very engaged setting that's virtual. Client Success and Retention: How to Handle Difficult Conversations. Communication and Meetings Mastery. Delegation Mastery, Business Financial Literacy, and How to Implement AI. That's just a few. We have over 21 workshops that are different going on throughout the year in 2026. If you need to talk through a decision on software or whatever it is, you can talk to anyone on our team to support you in your growth as a construction company. We also provide monthly masterminds with other owners who get it. So it's one membership. It's $600 a month. Your business gets more efficient and not more overwhelming as you grow. That is our goal with the Growth Kits membership. So if you've been white knuckling it and you're wondering when it's gonna get easier, this is how you do it. You book a call that's in the show notes. I wanna talk to you about it, and then I will show you exactly how we will help you remove some of the roadblocks in your business to growth and help you become more efficient and not more chaotic. Back to the episode.
Well, one of the things to talk about all the time is get your margins up, especially your gross profit margins. But get your margins up. How do you do that? Raise prices. You get the gross amount up by selling more. But we don't always talk about how to cut costs, because cut costs raise margins the same way increased prices do. And so one of the things that we can quickly do with somebody's profit and loss statement, matter of fact, you can take your P&L in there, put a little bit more information in AI, and it'll tell you. But how much more money you can make if you could do one more job, service call per week, one more job per month, whatever it is, do one more, which is recovering that time. So to begin to track time so that you understand where it's going, and then you can do something about it. And I've had countless people without AI. I mean, countless people do that
Yeah.
over the years, and it's a staggering change. Just get one more done. So no go backs. That's one thing you can do. You can start tracking that. I'm trying to think what you could enter into. This is not waste on time, but I was working with a guy in back east anyway, trying to figure out some issues in his financial statements, in his statement of cash flows. And I was having a hard time figuring it out. I stuck it in Claude. I stuck 3 statements in there. I said, can you tell me why this thing right here doesn't balance? He took 4 seconds. He goes, yeah, look on this line. I go, oh, it was something I knew about, but I hadn't seen. He goes, look, that does it right there. Save me hours. Now, what can we do? Can a process or a project manager create a AI assistant to help map out the timing and of everything? I mean, that's what project management is, matching the materials and the people to the opportunity to get stuff done. How can AI help with that in innovative ways? So I'm going to even ask you that. Do you have an idea how that can be done?
Absolutely. So I'll preface this, and we'll put links to this down below. I think we can get this out on time, but we have a workshop starting next week on February 10th. We're recording this on February 5th. Maybe we can get enough people to see this before then, but doing a workshop on implementing AI in your business where we're actually going to show you exactly how to do this with real examples of contractors telling us the inefficiencies, and we're going to solve them in real time. And how to train your team and how to implement it, not just in a process, but overall, like how your team can approach using AI. So definitely worth coming, 1 p.m. Central Standard Time next Tuesday, February 10th. So with that, how would I approach it? I think ultimately you have to, it doesn't have to be rocket science is the first thing I'll say. Okay. What I would do is I would talk about my problems, do a brain dump. Do you know what a brain dump is, Martin?
Yeah, I do it all the time. My wife's sick of it. No, I mean, what I call it for me is poorly thought out prompts. When I'm using AI, I'm dictating what I want it to do, but just telling it everything I'm worried about, what I want to hear, asking questions, anyway. Brain dump.
So just do a brain dump. What are all the inefficiencies that you're aware of, right? All the problems you have, all the pains in your business, just talk about them. And I'm not saying talk to the AI. I'm saying literally go on a walk, drive in the car, sit down on a park bench, whatever you want to do, pull out your iPhone, record a voice memo, and just start talking. Just to yourself. You're leaving a note for yourself. Don't try to format it. It's just a conversation with yourself about all the different problems. Right? That's going to bring up a lot of your efficiencies. But you take that, what your iPhone's going to automatically transcribe that. You click on the 3 dots on the right side, you can click copy transcript. Copy that whole transcript. It could be a 5-minute brain dump. It could be a 2-hour brain dump. It doesn't matter. Okay? Take that, throw it into Claude. I'm a huge proponent of Claude versus ChatGPT. It's just better.
It is.
It just is. And I've never had a person that I've told to switch that actually used it that didn't say, oh, wow, this is way better.
Yeah.
Okay. If you're using Grok or, those models are fine too, right? But Claude's really good. So you put it in and you say, okay, what can you help me improve in my business? And then see what it comes up with, right? See the different ideas. Rather than you trying to prompt the AI, you just need to give it context, which is what your brain dump is. You're talking about what's going on. And then you need to ask it, hey, what are some of the things you can help with? And I think that what people try to do is they try to prompt the AI of like, hey, how can it solve this specific thing? And really you need to do a reverse prompting of saying, here's all the context. You prompt me on what I should be doing. Like you tell me what you can do, because my limited thinking is holding me back from actually using the fullest capability of that. And we can do a demo if you want. You want to do a demo really quick?
Yeah. And
Okay.
that last thing that you said there, I have to rethink that all the time. I'm trying to make a smart prompt, and what the real basic starting point is, just tell everything that's bugging me and see what comes out.
Yep. Okay.
I mean, you agree with that?
For sure.
Kind
for sure.
of. Okay.
So I have a tool called Granola. It records everything that I'm doing on my screen, essentially. So I'm on my computer, but it works on my phone too. Okay. So I'm on a phone call, it automatically records. I am on a meeting on my phone, it automatically records. If I want to record something, I can just click record and it starts recording on the desk, right? And we've all seen those bots or I say bots, but those Fireflies has joined, Read AI has joined, Sybil has joined. All these different tools are just joining your meetings online whenever you're in one. So a lot of our audience isn't in meetings all day. I totally get that, but you've probably seen what I'm talking about. They're note takers. With Granola, you have no idea. It's just on my device. So it's recording in the background the audio of my device, the inputs and the outputs. Okay. So right now we're having this conversation. The entire thing is in AI. Martin, let's go through an exercise together.
Okay.
Let's think about a client. We don't have to name any names. Let's think about the inefficiencies they have, problems they're dealing with, real things, and just give us your 1 minute brain dump on that specific issue.
Guy's a contractor on looking for waste, specific issue. One of the biggest problems is having the guys show up at time, on time, getting the trucks loaded with the right materials to go where they need to go. He's had lots of conversations with them about it. And anyway, you can't fire everybody all the time. And a lot of times they have reasons. They're out of gas, some of that kind of stuff. Then he has them check in online, but they just don't seem to be able to do that. But anyway,
what do you
that's
mean by
problem.
check in online?
They've got an app that tells them, go to this job, and when you get there, touch this bar. I don't know how it can be more simple. And he still has problems with it.
Do you know can you tell me the exact software he's in?
Oh man, I've heard, it might even be something that just does QuickBooks have such a thing? Time tracker?
Yeah, QuickBooks has it. Yeah.
So call it that. Yeah, it's QuickBooks. Anyway, so that's part of the problem. They get to the job and they find out they need a sledgehammer and they don't have these are literally things he's talked to me about in the last month. We need a sledgehammer. That's what we do. And he didn't bring a sledgehammer. So he color coded them and he put them in different trucks by color and they wind up on the opposite trucks because, then if they're late getting there and they're late prepping, that means that they're late having the trucks come to bring concrete, things like that. So it's just inefficiencies where guys don't seem to know where they're going or know what they're supposed to do. He then tracks cost. So he's trying to get the hours accurately so that we can track the miscellaneous things that don't individually cost a lot but might add $500 to a $10,000 job, which is worth understanding. So how to track that, how to get them to complete the jobs and not make a bad decision like, well, we're not done, so we're going home. How to make the judgment call to spend some overtime rather than to go home to miss overtime, but have to come back the next day. So I don't know, we could go, is that sufficient for
no, that's good. So can you tell me a little bit more about is this service or project-based? Like, are they doing big remodels? Like, how long are they in job site? Are they doing 20 jobs a day, or are they doing one job a day?
No, they're doing a job every couple of days.
A job?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. That's all. I just wanted to understand the context of that. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So you can see I'm sharing my screen right now. This is Granola. It is transcribing in real time. Even as I'm talking about it, you can read at the bottom how it's just adding lines to it, and it's really accurate. Okay. So it's got this transcript. What I'm going to do is, in real time, I'm just going to copy the whole transcript, not just the part that I'm talking in. And I'm going to switch windows here, and we're going to go to Claude. Okay. So in Claude, all I'm going to do is I'm going to paste that entire transcript. Okay.
Yep.
And then I'm not going to type, but I'm going to use whisper flow,
Right.
which I think you are using regularly,
I'm
Martin.
using, yep.
And it's a game changer because I don't have to type, I just talk. And it's in any text box, not just in Claude. I could be in my email, I could be in iMessage, I could be in my CRM, I can be inside of any text box, and instead of typing, I just talk. It's a dictation tool. So I go in and I say, towards the end, Martin starts talking about, he does a brain dump of a client and their inefficiencies. What are things that AI can do to support the business owner and decrease the inefficiencies in the business? Okay, there it is. Got it all done. So I'm going to press enter. We're using AI to improve the inefficiencies in our construction business, right? Extracting inefficiencies and architecting AI solutions. Based on Martin's brain dump, here are the specific inefficiencies in AI solutions. Problem, guys don't show up on time, don't know where they're going or what they're supposed to do. And AI generated morning dispatch texts and voice messages with job address, scope summary, and expected arrival time. Automated reminders 30 minutes before expected departure with traffic adjusted ETAs. That would be pretty cool.
Yep.
Right? Problem, trucks are not loaded with the right materials. AI generates job-specific load checklists the night before based on job type and scope. Photo verification at end of load. Snap your truck bed. Like take a picture of your truck bed.
Right.
AI confirms checklist items visible or flags missing gear. I don't think people understand that. You can send a very, what's the word? You can send a picture of anything, right? That doesn't necessarily mean anything. It doesn't have to be the most perfect picture. And AI can read everything that's in there and tell you exactly what's inside the truck.
Yeah.
You don't have to list it out.
Yeah.
That's probably a huge unlock.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then problem, the check-in app is not being used. QuickBooks Time Tracker. Replace the app interaction with voice. Text this number when you arrive. The AI finds your location based upon your text and timestamps it into QuickBooks. Right?
Okay.
Geofence triggers automatic, or you can have a geofence automatically trigger the check-in when the phone enters the job site radius, which a lot of apps do that pretty well, honestly.
Yeah.
So maybe he just needs to change tools there. Sorry, it stopped sharing for some reason. 1 second. All right, what else do we got here? Tracking miscellaneous costs that add up. Voice-based expense capture. Crude lead text or voice memos bought $47 of concrete screws at Home Depot. AI categorizes logs to job. Right? Bad judgment calls. End of day decision tool. AI calculates overtime cost versus return trip cost plus delay risk. Text the crew lead a recommendation with numbers. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Problem, color-coded tools ended up in wrong trucks. Morning tool audit via photo. AI flags misplaced items before trucks leave the yard. Most of these can be built with just Claude and Zapier and an SMS integration. Do you want me to outline the implementation of these? Okay, so it's not just that it came up with the ideas, and what I think the problem is here, because there's a difference. What a lot of people will do is they'll do that brain dump, great, and then they say, hey, how can I improve my business? And what they've done is they've added more work to their plate. Okay, you need to go and you need to build out all these checklists, and you need to do this, you need to implement this software, and you've got to customize it to your company, and then you've got to hire someone to manage it and keep it going. But what we asked was, how can AI support and decrease this? So I don't want more work. I want AI to be able to do some of this stuff.
I can't read it on the screen, but check
Okay.
in. Problem.
I can zoom in for you, Martin.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully some people who are listening to this and wanting to try it, they go, okay, now, see which one was I looking at? Tracking miscellaneous costs, okay?
Okay.
I think what it suggested was create a voice so somebody could do it. Well, now we're at that place where somebody's got to do it. They're not going to do it. But perhaps there's a way we can take a picture of all the materials that get lined, and AI can find it and report back, these are the miscellaneous items that went to this job. right?
Yeah.
We could do that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So my question then, being Mr. Contractor in a truck right now, how the hell do I do that? And
Okay.
you can ask Khalil that, but you can also ask Claude that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm just going to go in. I'm going to take my transcript of what you said just now, and I'm going to copy it from Granola, and then I'll paste it here in Claude. And I'll say, let's focus on that one improvement and what the actual execution and implementation of it would be, not just the tools, but how the business owner should approach it. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there it goes. Improvement, photo-based material tracking for miscellaneous job costs. What you're solving, $500 in untracked miscellaneous costs on a 10K job. Concrete screws, extra fasteners, pickup runs to Home Depot. The stuff adds up that nobody logs because it's friction. System is simple. Capture point. Crew lead takes one photo of materials staged before loading the truck. Takes another of receipts at end of day. Submission method. Text the photo to a dedicated phone number. Google Voice Works, or a tool like OpenPhone or Quo, who is a sponsor of this show. The photo hits a Zapier make workflow. It sends it to Claude Vision. Claude identifies the items and estimates costs based on typical pricing or reads receipt totals. The output, Claude sends back a text confirmation, job 1247 logged, 2 bags of concrete mix, 12 box screws, hammer, miscellaneous, 65. Okay, reply to correct. Right, so if anything was wrong, you let it know. Storage, logged to a Google Sheet or directly into QuickBooks via an integration. And then it walks you through what you should do. Do a manual test, try it out yourself, right?
Right.
And I'm just going to say, we already use CompanyCam to take photos of this kind of stuff. How would that change this process? How could it be even more automated? Right? Because we both know people that use CompanyCam.
Oh, yeah.
Expensive software, but very valuable. And if it did something like this, it would be worth its while, right?
And it just so happens that it does.
This changes everything.
Yeah.
CompanyCam removes the behavior, change problem entirely. Your crew's already taking the photos, right?
Right.
So then the photo hits it does all that stuff, and then it says that it logs it. It can do silent logging that the owner reviews every week, or it can do a daily text to owner, right? Fob jobs today, estimated miscellaneous expenses, 247. Or it can do daily summary texts. Text to owner, 5 jobs today, estimated miscellaneous materials, 247 across these specific jobs. Exception alerts only, right? Like you can have a threshold. I only want to know about expenses over $100, and then it sends you a text. You can even have it to where it texts the crew, the person who took the photo, is this right? You know? So anyways, you could even run it retroactively if you wanted to on CompanyCam for the last 30 days. So this is, I think what's important for people to understand is that there are guys out there that are embracing this. Are you going to be one of those guys? Yeah. And if they're really embracing it, they're able to not hire another person. They're able to make their company's work easier. You know, they're able to actually know their margins and not bid the job that you're going to lose money on and focus on the ones they're going to make money on.
Yeah.
Right. So there's all these things that you got to start embracing it. And it's, as an owner, you have a lot of opportunity here. But also if you get your team to embrace it, there's a lot of opportunity.
Yeah. Reducing waste, becoming more efficient is the complement to raising prices. And it's staggering when you get it done. And the cost of this is like nothing.
Well, it costs. That's another thing that I will say.
Doesn't cost much.
If you're
talking
worried about if you're worried about the $25 Claude subscription, then you're missing out. You got to get over that.
Yeah.
Right. And then, honestly, what I would tell people, if you're worried about the $200 Claude Max for people that are coding and all that kind of stuff, if that bothers you, another $200 subscription, man, it's going to be way more later on. You might as well get what you can out of it now.
Yeah.
So anyways, that's near the
Well, for somebody just synopsizing here, wanting to try this, I'm going to presume that they have already downloaded. It's Claude AI, and they've
Claude
got
AI, we'll put links into it in
Yeah.
the show notes. Claude AI,
and
create an account.
they've got a free one that you can try.
There's a free
too.
version. You're going to hit limits pretty quick, and that's
Yeah.
okay. But
they get $20.
highly recommend paying for
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's the steps we did here was the first one was outside of AI. It's just recording the brain dump that you have, all the issues that you're looking at, thinking about, wondering about.
And do it regularly. Don't just do it once.
Yeah.
Like your process, rather than like, oh, I go to AI and I do this. No, every day, multiple times a day. You're leaving a job site. You're leaving a sales call. You're leaving whatever. Just do a brain dump. That's all you have to do. And what are the thoughts and ideas and all those things that you're having? Store it. And you may not use it, but just keep it in your phone. And then eventually it gets into AI.
Yeah. And then at AI, you can use it to start saying, how would you address this? I mean, big, broad answers. That gives you narrowed down answers, and you don't understand those, but you can say, refine that. Until you finally get to something that works.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So
And your
join the
kids will
workshop.
respect you.
We're going to go through real details. We'll actually implement like a process like this for somebody through the workshop, right?
Yeah.
So join the workshop. I think it'll be invaluable. I think it'll change the way that you see the future of your business. But yeah, lots of inefficiency that AI can solve all around us. So thanks, Martin.
Okay, you too, man.
All right, I'll see you.
You made it to the end of the episode, but before you go, if you found yourself thinking about growing your construction business while listening today, I want to share something with you. It's called our 24 Things to Hiring and Training the Perfect Executive Assistant for Your Construction Business. And it's a free guide that we've created. It's not theory, it's what we actually use to help contractors hire the perfect executive assistant. And really, we help you find ways to delegate over 50% of your current workload and get back 20 hours of your time every single week. You didn't start your construction business to just be doing admin work, to be buried in paperwork and endless admin tasks. This is the guide that shows you exactly how to find and train someone who can actually take all that weight off of your shoulders. So this is a real actionable, great PDF that has templates and processes. It's really, really great. And I want you to check it out, even just to get your feedback and how we can make it even more valuable. But I know that you're gonna love it. The link is in the show notes. Please download it. We'd love to see how much of an impact it makes on you and your business. Thanks for listening to the full episode. Check out the guide. It's free. No reason to hesitate. No reason to wait. Download it now. And before you go, I just want to ask for your gracious subscription to our podcast. So if you have 2 seconds, it means the world to us. Just subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, or if you'd like our weekly newsletter delivered to your inbox whenever we release an episode, please subscribe in the show notes. Every week, we're talking about real strategies on how you can grow and build a profitable construction business that runs without you, so you can have less stress, more time, and more money. Click subscribe wherever you listen to the show, and thank you again for checking out The Cashflow Contractor. See you on the next episode.